got to be the best pirate I've ever seen.
So it would seem.
How's it going? Welcome back to another great video with your boy, the Savior. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, make sure you do subscribe. It takes 2 seconds for you guys to subscribe, but it means absolutely everything to me. Join this amazing growing empire today. Be a part of something great. If you like philosophical videos, game retrospectives, and game reviews, and discussing dystopian topics and technology, you've come to the right place. Now today I want to take a journey. Oh yes, that's right, a beautiful journey back in time. I mean, it doesn't even feel that long ago since it was announced that Sea of Thieves was coming to Xbox and Microsoft, okay? But if you remember, the game completely flopped on release. Basically everyone made fun of it. It had a great atmosphere. The sea dynamic and the technology of the sea and the waves were breathtaking. But yes, breathtaking.
Is really going to be breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
But sadly, the actual game itself was very bare bones. If you get the pun, Jesus Christ. Yes, because all you would do is fight skeletons. There was basically only one type of enemy. There wasn't a lot of content in the game, and it was basically just going around digging up treasure, going on fetch quests, and fighting the same enemy over and over again.
I'm happy that Rare is finally doing a little bit more than just, connect games. I feel that this is right up their alley.
Really looking forward to playing this.
I saw you guys at Gamescom, and I said to you one thing. I said, this is great, but what do you do in this game? And when I saw you at E3, I asked you the same question. I said, this is great, but what do you do in this game? That was my question I was going to prepare for today, and I don't have that question anymore. Because I learned that you do everything in this game. You swim, you shoot guns.
Get inside a cannon?
You go inside a cannon, there's sharks.
Yeah.
I thought there was just like grog and boats.
Most sandbox games have at least a little bit of complexity, and there is almost nothing going on right now in Sea of Thieves.
I've played probably about 6 hours in total, 3 hours tonight, and I feel like I've seen everything the game has to offer.
Come on, like this is it? Just a little bit of cosmetics, just 3 companies that offer the same repetitive quests?
The quests were really mediocre. Like, we're talking free to play.
The progression system is literally nothing but cosmetics.
No matter how many quests you do, you always have the exact same loadout, no matter what.
So the game is literally a loot fest for no fucking reason.
It's as shallow as a puddle. There is nothing.
The difficulty in this game is utterly laughable. You get a crew, you can cheese it, you can load up the cannon towers, shoot the skeletons, get the loot.
You grab a quest, you grab the chest, you take the chest back.
You're doing the same thing over and over and over again.
I was just at an artboard actually, looking through all the work that's coming up, and we're already starting work on some of those new features that are going to be for our players after launch.
Is this what modern gaming has become? We buy early access versions of games for $60?
We're all just paid beta and alpha testers.
£50 game that's been out in beta test for fucking months, and it still doesn't fucking work.
There just isn't much there to do because there isn't much discovery in a game sort of about discovery.
I think it's been a long time coming that Sea of Thieves gets a second chance, and they've released many updates, different seasons throughout the years. And as a recent Xbox Gamepass owner myself, I thought I would check it out. So I've been playing it for the last couple of weeks, and I have to say, I'm enjoying it a lot so far. So this is Sea of Thieves in 2023, since a lot of people are on Game Pass, but no one seems to be talking about this game, which I think is a real shame, because actually now, just like with No Man's Sky and other games that were complete flops on release, now I actually think it's a decent, good time, and it's worth your investment. My Sea of Thieves 2023 retrospective review. I want to take a look back at this game, and discuss what went wrong and where it is now and if it's actually worth playing. Is Sea of Thieves worth playing in 2023? That is what I hope to answer today. I honestly do think it's a good time. I would consider myself pretty lucky because I never actually played Sea of Thieves on release, but I'm glad I waited because just like No Man's Sky now, it's a completely different game with all of these added updates and seasons. Now there's actual tons and tons of exploration. There are, underwater biomes to explore, treasures to find, different missions. They've even got their own separate story campaign with a Pirates of the Caribbean cameo with Captain Jack Sparrow, and that fits this game so nicely. There is just a lot of content happening now. There's just a lot more content in Sea of Thieves. The puzzles are far more complicated, the PvP is more refined, and basically this is a great multiplayer game, and I'm actually enjoying it solo because I don't have any Xbox friends or anyone willing to play this game. So I'm talking to you now, Nat or Charlie, get your ass on Sea of Thieves because it's a good time. Sea of Thieves feels like a completely different game now, just because of how much has been updated. Now I do think there are still a lot of problems with this game. It's not going to keep you, playing for a massively long time, maybe unless if you're absolutely in love with the kind of pirates fantasy. But pretty much the only gripe I have with this game is there is no sense of progression. So the reason why I'm enjoying Sea of Thieves so much in 2023 is because it gives me that sense of exploration and a kind of chilled out vibe, which does remind me of similar open world games like Skyrim. Now this is not an open world RPG or anything like that. I would say Sea of Thieves is a sandbox, and I do like the fact that the developers understand that players can make their own fun. They don't need to restrict the players with BS mechanics or, linear cinematic storytelling or anything like that. Sea of Thieves is very much an exploration sandbox game, but it is definitely one of those games where you create your own fun, you create your adventures. And before, where there was basically no content, and like I said, you're just fighting the same enemies over and over again, now with all of this extra added content that they've been putting into the game, they've been updating this game since its release until now, 2023, which is quite crazy. They could have just taken the L and given up on this game like a lot of shady developers do. Now, I'm not excusing the fact that video games now are usually released in complete broken states, and there are many things wrong with the gaming industry. Go check out my video. I talked about everything wrong with the gaming industry now in 2023. But the fact that some developers can still, hold true to their original vision, like No Man's Sky and Sea of Thieves, they never gave up on this game. And now with all of the extra content, they've added more to the late game now, so if you do actually complete one guild, there's actually still a lot more content to engage with, a lot of exploration, going and fighting other players, or just following a quest yourself. You pick up quests from different guild members, whichever one you want to level up in. Even though there is no sense of progression, you do level up through these guilds, and this gives you, cosmetics and customization of your ship, stuff like that, so that is nice. But I just like the fact that you make your own adventure. If you find some treasure, you can go to an island, bury it, and then, come back another day and, just collect that treasure and bring it to your ship. There's a sense of pressure where you have a lot of treasure in your ship and you need to get to an outpost before someone sinks you. There's just a lot of fun going on in Sea of Thieves, and I think now it's definitely worth a second look. Now, I did say Sea of Thieves is a relaxing type experience, and that's because it's just very well done. The sea environment, and we never have had like an open sandbox pirates game, and I think this is the best game that ever comes close to that type of experience. But it can also be very, very tense, and that's what I find so fun about it. It does remind me of similar games like Valheim, where it can actually be quite brutal and there is a steep learning curve, but it's the fact that you're kind of going off into the unknown. And before, that would get old because, like I said, there was no content to back it up, but now there is variation with the puzzles, with the underwater dungeons, with the enemy variation. They've actually added bosses, they've actually added different enemy types. The PvP, like I said, is more refined now. You can battle with ghost pirates or stumble upon an undead island. There's just a lot more variation to this game that wasn't there before. And I think if you like that experience of, you know, just exploration into the unknown, creating your own adventure, something like this is a great time on Game Pass, especially before we get something like Starfield, which I think we are all excited about. I do think that Sea of Thieves in 2023 is worth it, and yeah, I think you should check it out, and I'll see you on the sea. I hope you enjoyed this video, my sinners. If you did find yourself liking this video, please do leave a comment, tell me your thoughts about this game if you're willing to give it a second chance. Now, I really hate the fact that the gaming industry is like this now, that basically they publish games that aren't even finished, and then over the years they, you know, add to it. And I'm not a fan of live service games, but honestly I do feel this is the best one on Xbox, and it is worth your time now. A lot of people just forget that it exists because of what it released as, but now I think it's actually a really good time. And I hope this video convinced you to check it out on Game Pass. It's nothing deep, it's nothing philosophical about this game, it's just good old-fashioned exploration fun. It makes you, you know, relish those moments in gaming where you are going into the unknown. That is a rare thing to have in any type of game, in any type of experience in life, and I think Sea of Thieves does do a good job of capturing that. And unless if you've been playing it a long time, now because there is so much more added content, it does actually feel like an adventure, because each dungeon does feel unique, each encounter does feel unique, because there is a lot more variation to the game. So I hope you check it out. If you did enjoy my Sea of Thieves 2023 review, please do subscribe, it would mean a lot to me, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, peace out.